The following segment is sponsored by Northwest Honda Dealers.
Over the past couple of months, we've been talking to you about the alarming number of kids at risk for mental health issues, even suicide. But that risk is greater for one group of kids. The National Alliance on Mental Illness says LGBTQ youth are almost 3 times more likely to suffer from depression, anxiety, or post-traumatic stress disorder. So what can we, the adults in their lives, do to make it easier to help them survive? I talked with one woman who almost became one of those statistics for some guidance. Des Bansley shows us around Youth Era.
That's our developmental cafe.
A peer-based organization creating a safe space teens and young adults can turn to for support. Many of them identify as LGBTQ.
A youth who is struggling with their identity, when they come out, they have to face if their parents are going to accept them, or their friends who they've known forever are going to accept them.
Des is all too familiar with feeling unaccepted growing up. She was 24 years old when she finally told someone she was gay.
The steps that I took to try to hide who I was led me down a really dark path while I was in college. And I became depressed and suicidal.
Suicide is the leading cause of death for LGBTQ individuals between 10 and 24 years old. This is according to the National Alliance on Mental Illness. Psychologist Dr. Daniel Munoz specializes in treating LGBTQ kids.
Suicide rates are highest among all different subgroups among LGBT teens. They also have among the highest rates of homelessness, among the highest rates of being abandoned by their family.
Des knows she was almost a statistic.
I was going to drive my car off of a bridge. And what stopped me that day was, as I was swerving, a car came up right by my side, and I didn't want to hurt that person.
That's why Des feels her role of creating an accepting environment at Youth Era is so important. And Dr. Munoz says every family can make a difference early in their kids' lives.
Have a family value where we accept people for who they are. So from the time the child can walk and talk, promote those values of acceptance.
And it could be the difference between life and death.
When I needed someone to just genuinely care about me, I had that person, and I realized the effect that it had. It saved my life.
Really, the numbers are staggering when you look at who's at the highest risk of depression. 1 in 3 gay and lesbian individuals have experienced depression. That's more than double the rate of people who identify as straight. In fact, these teens also have the highest rate of homelessness and being abandoned by family. In 2015, the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration concluded 15% of those who identify as LGBTQ had a drug use disorder this past year. That's compared to 8% of heterosexual people.
There are a lot of resources available to help kids, teens, and adults navigate these complex topics. You can always call the National Lifeline, 1-800-273-TALK. There are also specific lines just for teens. Those numbers are on your screen and on our website. Experts suggest having them on hand even if you don't think you need them right now. Sometimes all it takes to help someone is to be kind. And as part of our Kind is Better, we've also launched the I Will campaign. The idea is to get people to commit to being kind in specific ways, and you can post what you will do on the Kind is Better Facebook page.